I am humbled to speak on behalf of two men that account for over 200 victories in the world of modified racing, that have had Hall of Fame drivers wheel their cars. Just today, listening to drivers saying, gee, I want to go over Ray and Rich here. But if you want to know about these Hall of Famers and their accomplishments, pick up the program. Because instead, I would ask all of your indulgences. I'd like to tell you a story. A story about a little fat kid that lived on South Main Street in New Britain, Connecticut, and really could never understand what it was that his father did. You see, we lived abutting a construction industry, and while all of my friends at North End Elementary School were playing with Tonka toys, I was out back with ukes and loaders, and they were a lot bigger than me. My father was always gone, and it was always the yelling from my mother of, wait till your father gets home, that struck fear into me. But then when my father would get home on a Friday night, he would mete out the punishments for the week, and then come Saturday morning, he was off and away. And it was this thing that he called racing. And as a very young child, I was smart enough, or some people think stupid enough, that the way to win my father's heart was to become a fan of auto racing. Little did I know that that was God's hand at work. Not because of the relationship that I enjoyed with my father, but because as a young child I learned things that I take, and I hope I will take to my grave. As dysfunctional as my family might have been, God looked after me and gave me family. It was just a bike ride over Route 72, a little cinder block building with a couple of gas pumps out front that I never really saw anybody pumping gas, called Ray's Garage. And as a very young child, I was absorbed into the Garuti family. Not at the expense of my own family, but out of the heartfelt love that they had for a young boy that wanted to learn how to love their dad, his own dad. There are so many memories that I have of being corrected, of being a little amped up and having Ray say, that's bull crap, Jesus Christ, Jackie. And on the other side, Richie, just smiling and pretty happy to have me around. And when you're a young boy and you're really just starting to develop what are supposed to be the cornerstones to your life, to be blessed to have two individuals that instilled in me what the true meaning of integrity was, what the true meaning of honesty was, and most importantly, what the true meaning of family was. Yeah, I sold ice cream at the Plainville Stadium because my father wouldn't take me to the races. But at the cajoling of Ray and Rich, when it was time for the Riverside 500, he'd begrudgingly take me. Or Richie may take my dad aside and say, why don't you bring Jackie with us tonight? I never got to tell you guys that story. That deep down in my heart, I knew if it was at the beach, when stupid me threw the anchor into the rowboat and busted the bottom out of it. And again, Raymond would come up and say, Jesus Christ, Jackie, what are you doing? I was blessed with 3 fathers, 3 families. I thought I had the best gig in the world. And then along came an opportunity for my dad to own something called the Stafford Motor Speedway. And my father made a decision that put that family in jeopardy. And because of those principles of integrity, because of those principles of honesty, my family was put asunder and split. One group maintained the integrity that they wanted to go in one direction. The other member of the family went in the opposite direction. And I'm not asking you to feel sorry for me in any way, shape, or form, because having been instilled with integrity and honesty and in the beliefs that were given to me by my three fathers, there was also one critical element: respect disagreements. But the only regret that I always had is I lost my family. And I'm going to speak on behalf of what I think my father would say today as they join him in the Hall of Fame. First of all, they should have been before him, because they taught him the same principles that they taught me. And Ray and Rich, I truly do believe that he would say he was sorry, and that if he had it to do over again, Stafford Speedway be damned. We were family, and we need to be family and continue to love and be that family that the Garuti Brothers logo always stood for. I am humbled, and I apologize for the emotions, but I am proud to welcome my two other fathers into the 2011 Near Hall of Fame, Ray and Rich Garuti. All right, I'm an announcer, I can do this. Go ahead.
Hello, everybody, and I want to thank all the people who's been affiliated with my brother and I for the last 25 years with these cars, and the pleasure of being here. And I want to thank you all very much. Thank you.